Executive Director of the Riverport Authority, and we're so glad that you're here today on Red Letter Day for Louisville Riverport and the Authority. Special thanks, of course, to Congressman Garvey and Mayor Greenberg and all of our business associates and friends who are here today representing government, the private sector, and various nonprofits that we work with. I also want to recognize quickly two members of our board of directors, our board chair and vice chair here. And so we're very grateful for the work that Dave Watsky and Ron Carmichael have done with our board, and they are excited about our developments as well here today. Today we're here to announce the launch of our comprehensive master plan effort, which is going to help revitalize, renew, and rethink Louisville Riverport's port facility. This is a bold, future-oriented plan that we have in mind, and it's going to strengthen the role that Louisville Riverport plays as an economic driver in our region. Most people don't know this, but the Riverport is the home of about 120 businesses that employ about 8,000 people, and we want to make sure that that economic impact grows in the years ahead. Riverport spans about 2,000 acres in southwest Jefferson County, and there are manufacturers and logistics companies and global trade companies there, and they represent an estimated $8 billion in annual revenue and nearly $5 billion in annual exports. We are the place where multimodal transportation reaches so many parts of our country and other countries by road, rail, and river. We're also home to Foreign Trade Zone 29, which is increasingly important as businesses in this part of the world try to decide how they can best manage paying their tariff duties. And so our Executive Vice President, Miguel Zamora, is here. He's a national leader in the Foreign Trade Zone effort, and we'll be hosting a regional training session in March for other foreign trade zones. Now that's a strong record, but it does not guarantee continued success in the future, and that's why today is so important. Our comprehensive master plan is going to evaluate upgrades to our 40-year-old marine terminal, strengthen our rail and road access, improve the resilience to flooding, which is always an issue in this part of the county, and prepare our sites for the future generation of manufacturers and logistics experts. So all of this, and one of the key points about this master plan process, when we dream boldly, as we plan to do, we're going to need a lot of money in capital investments to make this next generation of port facility. And to do that, we're going to have to seek funding and grants, and many times having a master plan that calls out the preferred steps clearly and in a way that can be recognized by grantors is essential to that funding process. Now, the plan today is possible because of a $1 million federal planning funds secured by Congressman McGarvey 2 years ago. And as part of that grant process, of course, they asked the Riverport Authority to put some money on the table as well, which we have to the tune of $250,000. So it's a $1.25 million planning process, and that is robust. And those funds are going to be administered through the U.S. Department of Transportation's Maritime Administration, so-called MARAD, who's represented here today. So we're deeply grateful to Congressman McGarvey, who you'll hear from in a few minutes, for his leadership and advocacy for the future of Riverport. Our first speaker today is Megan Mansfield from BFW Engineering. They were selected as our consulting firm for this process after a rigorous scoring and evaluation process where we had 6 firms from across the country competing to be our lead consultant, and they presented in a wonderful way. We're eager to partner with them in the year ahead. So leading this effort for BFW is Megan Mansfield. She's the Chief Growth Officer at BFW and Markham Engineering. Please join me in welcoming Megan.
Thank you, Steve, for the kind words and the introduction. What a great morning it is to be in Louisville, Kentucky. My name is Megan Mansfield. As Steve mentioned, I serve as the Chief Growth Officer for BFW and Markham Engineering. And we are truly excited to be here with you today. Before sharing where we're headed with the Louisville Riverport Authority, I want to briefly introduce who we are and how our relationship with LRA began. VFW is a full-service civil engineering firm, headquartered in Paducah, Kentucky, the inland waterways capital of the United States. Since our founding in 1996, we have since grown to 14 offices in Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. Our affiliate, Markham Engineering, provides mechanical, electrical, and plumbing design, allowing us to deliver a full suite of design services from inception to completion. Our footprint spans every state we serve, supporting all modes of transportation and bringing consistent technical strength to complex infrastructure programs. Beyond transportation, we work extensively in education, commercial, industrial, healthcare, and federal markets. Today we have several team members integral to this project that are here, so I want to take a second to introduce those. We have Kim Bowen, our Maritime Group Manager and also the Project Manager for the LRA Master Plan. We have some of our Louisville staff here in the front row, Christina Newts Murphy, who is our Inland Waterways Advisor and also former USACE Louisville Chief of Levee Safety. We have Rick Murphy, our Construction Advisor. And then we have Bacchus Oliver, our Chief Operating Officer, and Craig Guest, who has worked alongside me for many years with LRA. We also have some of our team leading partners here. We have Hansen Services, C2 Strategies, Civil Design Inc., and P&D Engineers. Given where our headquarters and offices are located, we are deeply immersed in inland waterways engineering. Inland waterways aren't just where we work, they're also where we live. Since 2021, our firm has completed multiple master plans for ports across Kentucky and Illinois, with 3 of those already leading to USDOT PIDP-funded projects. It has been incredibly rewarding to help bring our clients' vision to reality. So, what makes Louisville special to us? Craig and I first visited the Louisville Riverport 5 years ago. At that time, the master plan was only an idea, but we toured the property. We saw the famous 3D model in the office, and if you know, you know. And one word came to mind since that day: potential. The ingredients for something transformative were obvious. And since that visit, we have supported LRA however we could, answering questions, offering insight, and staying present as a committed partner. Over time, the board and the staff have become close colleagues and friends. We ultimately share the same mission: to see this asset become a true focal point for the city and also a point of pride for the entire Commonwealth. Being selected to lead this effort means a great deal to us. It's more than showcasing technical capability. This is about advocating for economic growth for a city many of our team call home and for a state we love. We are thrilled, we are grateful, and we are ready to get to work.
Megan, thank you so much. Next, it's my pleasure to present a steadfast supporter of innovation and economic growth, and a person who on a regular basis rings me up to say, what can you do more and faster to help create jobs and economic growth, and particularly in Southwest Jefferson County. And so in all ways, this is a partnership, and I'm grateful that he has asked me to be the leader of the Louisville Riverport Authority. Please join me in welcoming our mayor, Craig Greenberg.
Thank you so much, Steve. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, and if it were sunny, we could see Riverport from here, I think. Congressman McGarvey, this is a great week. I love weeks like this. I love weeks when yesterday we were in the West End together announcing you bringing back home some federal funds to support a great education at Simmons College and their continued development in West Louisville, and today bringing funds back home from DC once again to support creating good paying jobs in Southwest Jefferson County. This is what we're all about, is partnering together, the city, the state, the federal level, to move Louisville forward in every possible way. And to have a partner who's fighting for us every day in DC, like Congressman McGarvey, when it comes to education, when it comes to creating jobs, when it comes to every corner of the city, is so wonderful to have. And so thank you for your leadership every day on our behalf in the nation's capital. You know, when people think of Louisville, they often think of us as a logistics city. But most people immediately go to the airport. They think about UPS. And of course, those assets are so important to our community. driving our economic growth and our city's strength every day. But many people don't think about the river. They don't think about the rail. And those aspects of our community are also critically important to our city in the past, they're important today, and they're going to be even more important in the future. And that's why Riverport is so important. It's important today because already, as you heard Steve say, 120 businesses and more than 8,000 people call Riverport home on a daily basis where they work. It's meaningful to create economic activity in Southwest Jefferson County. But when I started learning about Riverport when I first took office, it was my belief that Riverport could be even more. It could do more for Southwest Jefferson County, it could do more for our entire city and our entire state. As Megan just said, it is a classic case of unrealized potential at the moment. And so we are working to capitalize on that and continue to invest in that. As Steve mentioned, in the summer of 2024, I asked him to be the new executive director of the Riverport Authority and asked him to figure out how to make Riverport an even more important part of our community, to create more jobs, to create more activity in Southwest Jefferson County. And I'm proud to report a few years later that Steve, his team, and the entire board is doing just that. Riverport's future is so incredibly bright. Just going back a little bit, the city of Louisville and Jefferson County created Riverport Authority almost 60 years ago to operate a riverport and an industrial park. It gave the authority about 2,000 acres of unimproved land and a mission to create jobs and economic growth in a part of our city that was often overlooked. Fast forward 60 years to today, and I know from my conversations with friends in Southwest Jefferson County that there are still people who live there that feel as if they are still overlooked, that part of our county isn't in our city's plan. That's not right. We're one Louisville, and our administration has been focused on working with partners like Congressman McGarvey and others to ensure that people in Southwest Jefferson County understand we care, that we're investing, and we're taking action. And that's why, in addition to this initiative that we're launching today, just a few weeks ago you heard about our new South End Business Development Fund that's brought 3 new restaurants to Dixie Highway. Another is expanding. You'll hear about more in the future. It's why we're investing in Jefferson Memorial Forest to make that a world-class destination to help not only with Jefferson Memorial Forest, but the surrounding communities from Fairdale to Valley Station and others in between. Southwest Louisville deserves every opportunity that every other corner of our city has. We are going to continue to invest there. And that's why we're here today. Because we know that when Riverport thrives, the South End thrives. When the South End thrives, our city thrives. And when Louisville thrives, all of Kentucky thrives. So I'm proud that we're going to continue with these partnerships moving forward to make Riverport an even more exciting opportunity than it is today. So thank you so much again, Congressman McGarvey, for your work to bring $1 million here to Southwest Jefferson County to create more good-paying career path jobs. I'm so excited about this master planning process and what it means for the future of our entire city. Thank you all very much.
Folks, it wouldn't have been possible, even with the Herculean effort, without the support of elected officials and appointed officials and people from the nonprofit and business sectors here. And so, in representing them today, Mayor, we are grateful for your support, your administration, when this grant application was filed. But the person who had the most to do with this, by far, is our 3rd District Congressman. Each congressman has the ability to choose projects to try to advance for federal funding. And a couple of years ago, Morgan McGarvey deemed the Riverport application for this master plan process to be worthy of his support. And for that, we are grateful for all times. So please join me in welcoming our Congressman Morgan McGarvey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Steve. It is great to be here. I'm going to make a confession first off. And those of you who are native Louisvillians, maybe you can identify with me. I went to Main Street to go to GLI. I drove, I parallel parked. I was pretty impressed by the parking job, in fact. Only to get out and recognize that they've moved about 2.5 years ago, in fact. But I think that is something, Mayor, that is Louisville, right? I don't remember this building ever being a Sears, but if you tell me to go to the old Sears in St. Matthews, I know exactly what you're talking about. And so I say that because, you know what, sometimes in Louisville we get used to things, and we don't like change. The problem is, change happens regardless. And so if we're not protecting an asset like the Riverport, then the change is going to happen. Not that the change is, we're going to keep the change happening. The change is going to happen. It's going to happen other places, and we're going to lose the incredible asset we have. Right now, Riverport has 8,000 jobs. Right now, today, 120 companies are going through Riverport. But if we don't just protect that, if we don't grow it, it can leave us and go somewhere else. And so I'm so grateful, Mayor, to you and your team for working with us. And this is not one of those things where we stand at a press conference giving you a political line, right? The reality in Washington the last 2 years, as the Republicans now in control of the House, have changed the rules of how you bring back community project funds. And no longer are nonprofits eligible to receive those monies. That means we have to have a trusted partner in city government we can work with to say, every dollar up there, you are fighting somebody to get because they want it for their community, you want it for your community. And you've got to have a city government that is ready, that is nimble, that is working with you. So when the time strikes, we can bring this money back. Mayor, you and your team, the business community, the nonprofit team, you have done that, and we are so grateful to be in that partnership with you. I've been a believer in this project since Jim Adams and others drugged me out there on a hot summer day, I don't know how many years ago. But the vision and the potential is there, man. You're exactly right. Louisville is a logistics hub today. We're a logistics hub today because of where we're situated. We have that natural advantage. You throw in the UPS Worldport, and we have something really special. And I think, Jim, it was even when you got us on a call with the folks in Savannah, and they were showing us the difference that the port in Savannah has made to the economy of that entire region sold, right? We can have that same type of world-class facility for inland waterways here. We can't have the coastal stuff that some people get, but we get the inland waterways here. And with our road system, with our rail system, with the air traffic that goes down to UPS, with the access to that, when we invest in Riverport and in Southwest Jefferson County, we are investing in jobs, we're investing in the future of Louisville, and we are investing in a future that I think is going to just continue to grow and be brighter. This is a big step forward today for Louisville in continuing its role as a logistics hub. Again, we're going to change, but for the better, right? We're going to be driving that change, driving that innovation, making sure that jobs continue to come here and we continue to be a place that is a logistics hub for the entire country. So I am really thrilled to work with the mayor, to work with his team, to work with all of the business and nonprofit leaders in Louisville to come together in a thoughtful and strategic way to bring back this money that I think is going to benefit everybody in this city, in this community, and in this state going forward. So thank you guys very much. And we are excited to bring $1 million in funding back to begin this kickoff and the transformation of the Louisville Riverport Authority. Thank you guys very much.
Hey, I know you're watching the live stream right now, but I want to take a moment to tell you to check out this new book right here over my shoulder. Believe me, it'll be worth it.
So when you take over an enterprise that's 60 years old, sometimes there's a tendency to do the same old things in the same old ways. And as the Congressman mentioned, that won't work in an ever-changing, rapidly evolving world. So we're going to move outside the comfort zone, and Megan and her team, the VFW, are going to help us get there, and so will the rest of the community, because we're going to be talking to you about what you see as important parts of the role Riverport can play. I'm grateful for all of you who came, our colleagues at the Port of Louisville are here who operate the port under a long-term lease with us. I see friends from Southwest County, Jefferson County, from the Southwest Dream Team, Harbor House, lots of folks who are our friends and colleagues, and we are grateful for you to be here on this important day. Members of the media, questions for anybody now, or we'll try to answer them afterwards.
Steve or Megan, what the infrastructure, how is it aging? Give me examples of the roads, the marine terminal, what's happening to it?
Yeah, there are a couple of things. We'll talk more with the mayor and the governor and others about the roads. When you have these heavy trucks coming in and out every day, it's a real challenge for the infrastructure of roads. And so we need to have some improvements there. We just improved our old, decades-old crane. Part of the deal with getting stuff off the river, an essential thing is if you have gantry cranes that can move many tons. And so we've finally, after many years, gotten the money through a grant to be able to re-engineer and refurbish the crane, which supposedly handles up to $30 million, and now maybe up to tons, maybe up to 40 tons going forward. We need another crane, a bigger crane, to haul even more. The entire area there needs to be redone, probably elevated, because it's right down, of course, on the river, so some of the staging areas are subject to flooding. There are all kinds of things that need to be done that haven't been done because we simply haven't had the capital to be able to do it. But to get that capital, you need to go to the lender or the grantor with a plan that says this is sound engineering, so part of it is going to be the design, the engineering that goes with it. So this is not just a change at the margins. We hope that this plan will completely revitalize and revision what the Riverport can be. Megan, am I hitting?
Yes, I would just add that it's a combination of what we see from the economic development side. So a big portion of this master plan is also looking at economic growth potential. And so it's not just replacing infrastructure, it's also upgrading it to accommodate the inland waterways traffic that's currently occurring, what that future looks like. There's several ideas out there that the inland waterways could become a greater impression for all of the U.S. And so if Louisville is sitting right here with all of this potential, how do we capitalize that future is really the goal of the master plan. So both to revitalize and also bring it forward into the future will be the goal.
And the challenge to this also is, folks, imagine trying to build and redesign a port and make capital investments for the next 20, 30, 40 years and trying to gauge which products are going to come through your port in this ever-changing world. Some warehousing can be used for many things, some's much more specific. So as Megan mentioned, a big part of the master plan is going to be that economic projection for what goods are going to be coming through our port in the future. And that'll be an essential part of it. I saw another, yes.
Good morning, David Williams, Spectre of News 1 Kentucky. When do you anticipate development or construction to begin on this master plan?
So the first part of it, of course, is completing the plan. And some of these planning processes take a year and a half or even longer. We're on the Greenberg kind of go, do more, go faster. So, and we're charging ourselves and BFW with getting the plan finished in about 12 months. So just about this time next year, we should have the plan done and have comments on all that. And then I suspect if we dream boldly, we'll be in a process that encompasses several years going forward in building out in phases. And we'll have to, again, get the funding for this, the grants, the private sector funding, whatever it's going to take to be able to do it. So 1 year from now, we hope to be able to have that product out to share with you, and then we'll be vigorous in trying to get the funding to build out in phases over several years.
Is this also a recruitment tool to bring in other companies or industries to this area, and what are they?
Absolutely. People who make these kind of decisions for their businesses as well want to know they're going to commit to a port that is going to grow and improve and be better years from now than it is now. So this, we hope, will be an essential part of the recruiting of new businesses from all over the state and all over the country. And it's also going to be an important part of the whole reindustrialization and onshoring as we try to do more and more manufacturing and have more and more economic activity here in the United States. So yes, absolutely is part of the recruiting strategy. Yes.
One more question. Could you explain what Foreign Trade Zone 29 is and how it literally unlocks the world for us here in Kentucky?
I'm going to answer your question, and then this guy right over here, hold your hand up, Miguel. Miguel Zamora, who's our executive vice president, and the person that operates the foreign trade zone. I'll try to do this quickly. Foreign trade zones were created a long time ago by action of Congress to try to spur global trade, imports and exports. And so the advantage of the foreign trade zone, which we are the Louisville Riverport Authority, is the grantee from the federal government to operate a foreign trade zone. It's a place where businesses can bring goods in and send goods out and be able to manage the payment of their tariff duties, which is a very important thing right now. So we not only have Foreign Trade Zone 29 here in Louisville, we also oversee subzones all over the state, 25 or so of those. So we have much more activities, no surprise, in the last year at the Foreign Trade Zone as companies try to figure out how to manage those tariff costs. We'll give you more information, and in about a month, we're going to be hosting a regional meeting here in Louisville, and Miguel's going to be a key part of the training for that because he's a nationally recognized expert. Any other questions? Yes?
We've heard about the businesses that are currently right there at the Riverport and the jobs that they've brought in. What are you hoping that this master plan and what comes out of it, what are you hoping is going to bring to these businesses that are already there?
Right, and so we have steel is a big commodity that comes in and out of our port, and the ability to have a bigger crane, another crane, will allow our steel customers to be able to plan for the future because they see growth and they want to know where they can move their steel in and out. That's just one example. There are others who may be looking at expanding activities, and they need the port and they need the connection to the railroad, but they're just not sure that we're going to be able to have expanded abilities to be able to handle that move in and out. So each company is going to be a case-by-case basis, but I just give you steel as one of those examples. Yes?
Could you explain what those pictures are, please?
Sure. Well, that's just an overhead here of part of the warehousing, because through the years, most of the land in the 2,000 acres down on the Riverport, on the Ohio River, have been sold. So the companies own this land. We lease some of it. We'd like to lease some more. That's just an example of one small part of the facilities that have been built there by these companies. And on the right-hand side, that's down on the river where the commodities are moved from barges onshore or in reverse. So this is where the real activity is going to take place. There are about 300 acres in the port facility, and BFW is going to help us reimagine what all of those can be and other connections within the 2,000 acres down on the river.
Is that one of the cranes you're referring to in that second picture?
Miguel, can you?
That is the crane that we're just completing the rehabilitation of, yes.
Just rehab that crane that's mentioned here, but I'm betting that our master plan report is going to say we need a newer, bigger one to go this if we really want to grow the port facility.
So this is one of the cranes that the plan wants to replace.
We may keep this now that it's been refurbished, but we probably need a second one here to be able to handle more.
How much is there still a lot of real estate available in that area for say another business to come and build another warehouse and grow in that area?
We still have some some land there, and up on the about 3 miles as the crow flies up on Dixie Highway. We have the Dixie Annex where we have more property that's available. And one of the things our board is considering right now is whether we'd be interested in repurchasing some of the property that's here now. A few of these warehouses are not being used anymore. The companies have left and nobody's replaced them. So there is opportunity for more growth in new businesses.
Steve, what happens if this project is not done? Where do these businesses leave? Where do they go?
Yeah, I don't think that most of them leave, at least not in the short term here. They've made considerable capital investment. And so when you go out there, welcome. If you want to come, we'll give you a tour. But some do leave just because of business reasons of their own. They want to shift their production or their logistics to other parts of the United States. But if we don't make this bigger and better soon, we will see this gradual erosion, and it will come to a day when there won't be 120 businesses and there won't be 8,000 folks. And how quickly that'll happen, no one knows. But we want to avoid that and be ahead of that curve and lead by getting out of our comfort zone. One more? Anybody? All right. This is a great day for the Louisville Riverport. Congressman, Mayor, would not happen without you and others. We look forward to reporting back to you in about a year with this final plan here and talk more in specifics about the size and scope of what this reimagining is going to be. But my prediction is that the day of the new Louisville Riverport is at hand. And we're excited to be part of it. Thank you all so much for being here.
Healthy Business Connect Us empowers families to thrive through holistic well-being, early child development, and accessible health care.
We are committed to fostering connections, knowledge sharing, and support networks that enhance the physical, mental, and emotional health of children, parents, and caregivers.
By building bridges between healthcare providers, social services organizations, educators, and families.
We aspire to create a world where every child experiences a healthy and nurturing start.
Setting the foundation for a brighter future.
Hey y'all, I'm Attica Scott, former Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.
Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
If you do nothing else.
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 If you do nothing else.